Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Luis. I'm a third-year medical student from the Ateneo School of Medicine and Public Health. And welcome to my second installment in my monthly favorite series, where I go over some of the books, articles, YouTube channels, and podcasts that have interested me over the past month. Before I start this video, I'd like to announce that this channel recently surpassed the 100 subscriber milestone, and I'd like to thank all of you for subscribing to this channel. For those who haven't yet, please consider doing so, as it is a great way to support this channel. Anyway, let's start the video. My first feature for this video is the channel of Nicole Alba. Nicole is an incoming third-year student at the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and her channel has recently seen a boom in subscribers, having started in only May 2020 and currently has nearly 2,000 subscribers, or actually has surpassed 2,000 subscribers at the time of filming this video. Her channel mainly covers the basics of personal finance, such as high-interest savings accounts, basics of investing, and making expense trackers. This type of content is very useful for people who want to get into personal finance, especially students or young professionals. What I like about Nicole's channel and what I think makes her stand out from other personal finance YouTubers is her use of comedy in educating her viewers. How she does this is inserting her brand of comedy through the use of GIFs and different memes, which is very appropriate for today's meme-heavy culture. By doing this, she makes topics that would sound boring on paper to most people very entertaining and very enjoyable to watch. Even if I was already knowledgeable about the topic she was discussing in the video, I would still watch the entire video too because her brand of comedy just seemed to resonate with me. So if you're a student looking to learn about the basics of personal finance and have a good laugh while doing so, I really suggest you go check out her channel. My second feature for this video is the YouTube channel by Dr. Brian Sutterer. Dr. Brian is a physician resident in the US specializing in physical medicine and rehabilitation. His videos cover sports injuries from different sports around the world, such as basketball, baseball, football, soccer, and the UFC. His videos show the practical application of medical knowledge by taking major injuries in sports, such as an ACL, or an ankle fracture, and explaining it in layman's terms in such a way that even a common fan can understand what's going on. He also uses anatomical models so we can understand the mechanism that results in the injury to these athletes. As a sports fan myself, I really appreciate the amount of effort that Dr. Brian puts into his videos explaining the injuries of top athletes around the world in simple language, because it allows me a greater appreciation for these athletes who regularly put their bodies on the line for the sport that they love. If you're a huge fan of sports, I recommend you go check out his channel, which I'll link down below. My third feature for this video is the podcast Not Yet Doctors. The show is run by two aspiring doctors, Gabby Flores, a final year medical student at the UP College of Medicine, and Robert Aguilar, a PhD student at Columbia University. The show is still early in its running, having only released 2 episodes so far, but listening to its episodes so far, I feel that this is the type of content that a lot of aspiring Filipino scientists and physicians should listen to. The show covers the host experiences in their path to becoming doctors. For Robert, it's his training as a scientist in the different labs around the world in molecular biology. Whereas for Gabby, it's her clinical training and her experiences as a medical student at the UP College of Medicine. Though they have different career aspirations, there's a lot of overlap in their experiences in that they both experienced some form of imposter syndrome when they got placed in clinical experiences abroad. Despite this, they realized that just because you're not from a top institution in the West doesn't mean you shouldn't strive for high ambitions. I was most moved by Robert's story of his experience of partaking in a prestigious internship program at the University of Tokyo, where he was grouped with students from top institutions all over. I'm talking Princeton, Stanford, MIT, Harvard, that caliber of student. But despite being the obvious underdog in that scenario, he was able to hold his own and show that he was as good, if not better, than some of his contemporaries from institutions in the West. And it's this experience that gave him the confidence to apply for top institutions such as Columbia, where he'll be attending later this year. I recommend that you all check out their podcast on Spotify, which I'll link down below, and also follow them on Twitter at Not Yet Doctors. My fourth recommendation for this video is the book The Power of Habit by the author Charles Duhigg. As the title of the book implies, The Power of Habit is about how habits affect our lives and the science behind what goes into forming them and how we can go about changing them. This is done through explaining of the scientific literature behind it, and several anecdotes in the real world about the application of this knowledge, such as case studies of patients with brain injuries leading to memory loss, to world-class institutions who leverage the power of habit change to make their institutions better at doing what they do, from sports teams all the way to the corporate world. The book has 3 main points, namely, 1. Habit loops are composed of a cue, the habit, and the reward. 2. To create habit change, you need to replace the habit that results from the cue and results in the same reward. And 3. Keystone habits, habits that govern one aspect of our lives or in an organization, can spill over to other parts of it. So as an example of this rule of habit change, say you want to stop snacking every time you feel hungry. Obviously there, the cue is the urge because you're hungry, and the habit is like snacking on whatever food is available, and the reward is the pleasure of satisfying that urge of hunger. So following the rule of habit change, you should replace any unhealthy snacks such as soft drinks, candy, and chips with healthier options such as fruits, vegetables, and yogurt. And by doing so, you are more likely to instigate change because the cue and the reward are still the same, but you've replaced the routine with something that results in more desirable effects. What particularly struck me in this book is the idea of keystone habits can lead to the bettering of other aspects of our lives. And I find this very applicable to medical students because by having discipline in one aspect of our lives, it will potentially spill over to having discipline in all other aspects, not necessarily starting from our own study habits, but having the discipline to do other things such as following a workout routine or having good eating habits can spill over into having better study habits and having a better overall lifestyle. So that's it for this month's monthly favorites video. Everything that I mentioned in this video will be linked down below, so if you're interested in anything I mentioned in this video, please feel free to check them out. If you like this content, please leave a like and comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.